Hi everyone! Welcome back to another episode of Fridays with a Ranger. I'm Ranger Shannon with Lewis and Clark National Historic Trail in beautiful Omaha, Nebraska, and I'm so glad to have you joining me once again. For today's video, I'm enjoying the great outdoors just outside our visitor center. It's a lovely, although windy fall day, so you might hear some extra noise in this week's video. Although our visitor center remains closed for health and safety reasons, the lovely paths along the Omaha riverfront and Bob Carey pedestrian bridge remain open, so it's the perfect time to go explore around here. Shown is a man canoeing down the Missouri River. I'm standing on the grassy banks just above the Missouri River with a beautiful view of the wild plants, trees, and flowing waters of the river below me. Shown is a close-up of the Missouri River waters churning next to the rocky shore. Rivers, lakes, and other bodies of water are not only great for swimming and boating in, they're also the perfect place to catch your next meal. During the Lewis and Clark expedition of 1803 to 1806, it's well known that the Corps of Discovery members hunted in the wilderness for their food. However, we don't hear much about fishing from them. Did they ever turn to the water to grab a bite to eat? Let's find out. During the summer of 1803, as he gathered supplies for the expedition, Captain Meriwether Lewis visited a tackle shop. There, he bought 100 fishing hooks, 10 pounds of fishing line, and 300 hooks to give to the tribes that they would meet along the journey. Captain Lewis also bought one 8-stave reel, a wind-up spool used to store fishing line on, similar to what we see on today's fishing poles. Shown are close-ups of two sockeye salmons with white molds on their backs swimming in a shallow waterway. With all this preparation, did they ever catch any fish? The journals from the expedition mention little of their fishing successes. However, they did have some luck. One such place where they got very lucky is probably very close to where I'm standing today, just across the river on the sandy banks, right along the water. They called this place White Catfish Camp. Can you guess why? Shown is a wide view of the Missouri River with trees lining both sides of the shore. In the distance is what appears to be a small river channel, also lined with various trees. After they set up camp on July 22, 1804, they caught what was probably a channel catfish, and then proceeded to catch a ton more. Over the next 4 days, they completely replenished their food supply before continuing their travels west. The spot was so valuable that they actually stopped there again on the return journey home in September 1806. Shown is an oil painting of two pirogues flanking a larger sailing ship on the Missouri River. Corps of Discovery members are shown rowing the boats in teams of 6 to 8. Shown is a large school of trout swimming in deep, murky water with a rocky bottom. So, how did they catch fish? The crew used several different methods, some of which they learned from the tribes that they met along the trail. Spears, traps, a hook attached to a long fishing line which they wrapped around one hand. Once, when they couldn't find any bait, they even shot and killed a salmon with one of their guns. Shown is a sockeye salmon swimming quickly near the surface with its back exposed above the water. The further they traveled west, the more they relied on fish, not just for sustenance, but for science, amusement, and building relationships with the American Indian tribes that they encountered. They have so many tribes to thank for helping them survive during the journey west. They traded gifts with these tribes to get fish to eat, and even learned some valuable fishing skills and methods from them. While living near the Pacific Ocean's coast, they suffered from constant illness after switching to an all-salmon diet as game became scarce. As much as they hated this, it kept them alive during trying times of the expedition. They especially have the Nez Perce tribe to thank for nourishing them with dried roots and salmon after they stumbled out of the Bitterroots, a mountain range, completely famished. And that's it for this week's video. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Fridays with a Ranger. Stay safe, healthy, and go fishing. Bye!